Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. Hey kids, it's best not to do drugs. Why? Because it's bad for you, it kills your brain cells, it makes you stupid, you could get arrested for it, and it's really, really addictive, which means that it's hard to stop doing. So, if you don't want to go through all that stuff, just stay away from drugs. Why is that so hard? Just tell your kids the truth and they'll get the idea. But nope, public service announcements want to scare the shit out of us by making it look like drugs came from the devil. And if you take drugs, you turn into one of his evil little minions. These PSAs were so far-fetched you couldn't help but laugh at them. Which is why today, I am bringing you the top 11 greatest drug PSAs ever. Why top 11? Because I like to go one step beyond. So, pull up a couch and enjoy what I'm sure is medicinal in your hand. This is the top 11 greatest nostalgic drug PSAs. Number 11. I used to see this one all the time when I was a kid, and to be honest, I kinda liked it. It was short, sweet, it had a lot of energy to it. But here's the thing, their tagline is be an original. So wouldn't that technically mean not listening to what the TV is telling me to do? It's kinda like a weird Zen riddle. If I do what the TV tells me, I won't be an original. But if I don't do what the TV tells me, I'll be following everyone else. God, I wish I had some drugs. My other problem with this is that the drugs in this PSA don't even look like drugs. They look like some sort of weird alien technology. The real tagline should have been just say no to radioactive Gerblical plaques, because intergalactic crack is whack. Say no! Right to say no! Number 10. This one starts off with a father talking to his 13-year-old son.
I figured when you were old enough, I'd talk to you about drugs.
Okay, well this doesn't seem too bad. After all, it is important to talk to your kids about drugs and make sure that they don't go down the wrong path. Oh my god, he's dead! He's dead! He's talking to a dead boy! He's dead! Drugs took his life! Oh my god! What a twist! He just M. Night Shyamalan my ass! You know, there was a lot of PSAs about how parents should talk to their kids about drugs, but they were always shown during Saturday morning cartoons. And if you're like every other parent in the world, you haven't woken up to see Saturday morning in years. It's your day off and you're gonna sleep. Sleep like the dead! Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that deadline. Condolences.
If you don't teach your kids to say no to drugs, it's as good as saying yes.
Number 9. Here's a weird little PSA that actually gives drugs its very own theme song. Is it me, or does it sound like this PSA is actually promoting drugs? And if that's not bad enough, there's actually parts of the song where they talk about the good things that drugs do.
Drugs can make you better when you're feeling ill.
Mixing the signal there, guys. Now, to be fair, they do talk about bad drugs too, but it's hard to hear because you can barely make it out.
There's lots of other drugs that sure have a flaw.
That are sure to have a paw?
Let's struggle with the law.
Let's struggle with the law?
Which are good, which are bad.
I don't know which are good and which are bad. The way you're saying it, I don't even know what the hell drugs are!
Drugs. Ask your mama, ask your dad.
Number 8. Though this really isn't as much about drugs as it is about smoking, this Star Wars PSA definitely deserves mentioning. Why? Because it actually shows R2-D2 lighting up. What the hell? I didn't even know robots had lungs to damage!
Well, I don't think smoking is grown up at all.
Yes, now golden robots and trash cans on wheels, that's very adult. Seriously, who even knew R2-D2 was addicted? Cigarettes are hard to beat, and my guess is that R2 didn't back down quite as easily as they let on.
R2, you're on fire! R2-D2, you found a cigarette! Well, I don't think smoking is grown up at all. Smoking does dreadful things to your lungs, and is very bad for your heart. Well, I know I don't have one, but humans do, and I think we should set a good example. Well done, R2.
Breaking a habit is hard.
Don't smoke.
Number 7. This one is just weird. It doesn't even really say drugs are bad or anything, it just... well, watch it.
I do coke, so I can work longer. So I can earn more. So I can do more coke. So I can earn more. So I can do more coke. So I can earn more. So I can do more coke. So I can work more.
Yeah, never let David Lynch direct a drug PSA. I mean, it makes no sense. So the guy does some coke, runs around like the Roadrunner, and then disappears into a The End credit? I never even saw a PSA that had a The End credit before. My guess is that they commissioned the writer from The Shining to write this shit up, and they just put some visuals in at the end.
How do you like it?
Number 6. This is another one that has one of those quote-unquote twist endings. It's just a woman who's about to take a dive in the pool while the narrator talks about drugs.
Doing drugs is like being on top of the world. Everyone says so.
Okay, no problem so far. Nothing really bad's going on here. Oh my god, there's no water! There's no water in the pool! Oh my god, there's no water in the pool! Oh my god! What a twist! Honestly, I know I'm supposed to be horrified by this, but all I'm really thinking about is if the mark she left in the pool looked like this. You know, that kind of Wile E. Coyote look. I don't think her hair would weigh so much that would leave an indent, but you get the idea.
You just better know what you're jumping into.
Number 5.
Hello, dude.
Yeah, remember this guy? If you ever pissed yourself in your sleep, you do. This creepy guy starts off as just some loud-talking drug dealer, but then slowly turns into this scary-looking snake guy.
You know who I am? Snake. Dealing in weed, coke, crack, your choice. Take one hit and you'll do anything to cop more. Steal from your mama, lie, cheat on your homeboys. But hey, do I look like the kind of guy that would do that to a kid like you? Yes!
Go to the next one! Number 4. Oh, I love this one. And again, it has something of a twist at the end.
It's yours?
No,
Mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must have...
Must have what?
Look, Dad, it's
Where
not...
did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me.
Answer me, you little punk!
Who taught you how to do this stuff?
Who taught you to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
You stole my drugs, you bastard! I'll kill you! I'll kill you! Actually, I love this PSA because I always wondered how the conversation went afterwards. I taught you to do this, son? Yeah, well, you were high while you were doing it, so... Oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. So, did you ever figure out where to buy the filters for the bongs? Well, most places like Ace Hardware don't sell them anymore, you know, for this exact reason, of course. But there's still a lot of places online that can hook you up, and for reasonable prices, too. Really? Oh yeah, real cheap. I've taught you well, son. Well, I had a good teacher. Oh. Now that's a PSA I will listen to.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
Number 3. People know this one so well they could say it in their sleep.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
This is probably one of the best well-known PSAs ever. But why? I think it's because everybody had a witty retort to say right after the PSA was over. For example, here's a few I heard growing up.
Any questions?
Can you serve my brain with a side order of bacon?
Any questions?
Is that made with real brains or substitution brain beaters?
Any questions?
Can I get mine as a brain Benedict?
Any questions?
Is it true you can't make an omelet without breaking some brains?
Any questions?
Would this technically be considered brain food?
Any questions?
Is my brain part of a complete breakfast?
Any questions?
Are you gonna eat my brain? Cause I'm really hungry. Mostly from doing drugs. Actually, this PSA was so popular that it spawned a sequel PSA with this fucking crazy woman.
This is your brain. This is heroin. This is what happens to your brain after snorting heroin. And this is what your body goes through. This is what your family goes through. And your friends, and your money, and your job, and your self-respect, and your future. Any questions?
Yeah, what the hell kind of drugs are you on? Number 2. This is personally one of my favorites. It starts off with a kid in school being teased by the world's most generic and probably youngest drug dealer.
What, chicken?
Did you ever in all your years actually know a bully that actually went brah? Suddenly, we cut to a classroom where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are apparently teaching a class of kindergartners. Aw, dude, how the hell did I miss that class growing up? So the kindergartners say that Joey should get out of there.
Get out of there!
You got it. Let's see if Joey's that smart.
And then, Joey comes up with the greatest comeback line in the history of victorious zingers.
I'm not chicken, you're a turkey.
Wow, That was cosmic. I mean, you will never hear a greater defense in all of junior high history.
I'm not chicken, you're turkey.
This insult was so good that the bully had no choice but to stuff himself in his own locker, where he hanged himself with the straps of his backpack. It is that good. And the #1 greatest nostalgic drug PSA is... Wow, what is this? It must be serious.
This is crack, rock cocaine. It isn't glamorous or cool or kid stuff. It's the most addictive kind of cocaine, and it can kill you. What's really bad is nobody knows how much it takes. So every time you use it, you risk dying. It isn't worth it. Look, everybody wants to be cool, but doing it with crack isn't just wrong. It could be dead wrong.
Oh my god. Where do I start? First of all, look at this show and tell me it isn't somehow inspired by an illegal substance. No sober person could possibly come up with this. Second, didn't he play a drug dealer in the movie Blow? Isn't that just a little contradictory to what's being said here? Third, this is just a few weeks before the infamous movie theater scandal where Paul Rubens was found whacking off in public. Kind of a mixed message there, Pee-wee. I mean, how do you think the follow-up PSA for this went? Hey kids, just remember, crack is whack, but whack's the smack. So whack off whenever you can! Last but definitely not least, Pee-wee Herman talking to me about crack is absolutely hilarious. If it was Paul Rubens, the actor who played Pee-wee, telling me about crack, maybe that could work. But when Pee-wee Herman, not Paul Rubens, says, "This is crack," I die a little inside. I die of laughter. And I know I look very collected and pulled together right now, but when I first saw this, I had to go through hours and hours of laughter to get to this point. I mean, that's hours of oxygen probably taken off the end of my life that I will never get back. It is that hilarious. Look, I love Pee-wee Herman, but this is just insane. Most of these drug PSAs are. Instead of being truthful or honest, drug PSAs just want to scare us and not question the truth behind this government propaganda. I guess they have good intentions, but is it really worth it to go so over the top about a subject matter that many of us probably wouldn't have even known about until we heard about it on TV?
Yes!
Okay, just don't show me that guy again! I'm the nostalgia critic. I remember it so you don't have to.
Yes!